Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending this session to learn more about a fabulous resource available to you and all students, the Gender Equity Center. My name is Becca Geiger-Wallen. I use she, her pronouns, and I proudly serve as the Associate Director of the Gender Equity Center here at Penn State. Let's get started and discuss our office and the important services we offer to the Penn State community. The Gender Equity Center is located in the Buki Building, room 222U. The Gender Equity Center is here to support you, your successes and relationships inside and outside the classroom, from friendships, classmates, roommates, and other connections, to romantic relationships, including dating, hookups, sexual relationships, and everything in between. Our office is the historic Women's Center on campus, and we work to address gender equity issues. The issues we tend to focus on the most, given they are the biggest barrier to equity at the university and in the world, are the issues of power-based interpersonal violence, which is the umbrella term for sexual violence, harassment, relationship violence, and stalking. That being said, we do focus on other climate issues as needed, including body image, media literacy, reproductive justice, gender inequity, gender stereotypes, bias, intersectionality, and bystander intervention. Our vision is our commitment to a campus culture that makes all students feel supported and gives students access to a full range of services, fosters cooperation and respect, and creates positive experiences that help students be successful both at Penn State and in the world. To achieve this vision and address these important climate issues, our support and services manifest into two main categories: direct services of advocacy, crisis intervention, and case management, and then awareness and prevention programming through educational offerings, programs, and events. Before we discuss these services in more detail, I want to emphasize the most important thing about our office. All of our services are free and completely confidential. We are one of 3 confidential resources on campus, with CAPS and the Center for Sexual and Gender Diversity being the others. Being confidential means the gender equity employees are not required to report or disclose situations of sexual misconduct, relationship violence, and stalking to the Office of Sexual Misconduct Reporting and Response at Penn State, allowing students to gain information about their options in the university process before choosing to report, if they report at all. With our confidentiality in mind, let's begin by discussing our direct services for students. Our direct services are largely what we provide to individuals rather than large groups on a case-by-case basis. Given while the problem may be the same, we know violence manifests differently and is unique to each situation and student. Our crisis intervention, advocacy, and support are available to students experiencing mistreatment, abuse, or violence, also known as victim survivors. However, something many people do not know is that we also support what we call secondary survivors. These are individuals close to the victim survivor, a friend, roommate, intimate partner, family member, or loved one who may need assistance or advice on how to best help the victim survivor in their life. For example, we often see friends seeking advice on how to talk to their friend about their abusive relationship and provide them with support without alienating them. Additionally, secondary survivors may be experiencing similar responses to a victim survivor as a result of vicarious trauma from supporting their friend or even responding to a disclosure from their loved one. When a student comes to see us, whether it be a victim survivor or a friend or loved one, our goal is to empower them with information to enable them to make the best decision for themselves and their situation. It can be frustrating because we will never tell someone what they should do or what the quote unquote right thing to do is, because there is no such thing. It's about what's right for that person in their situation. We can tell students about the administrative Title IX process, as well as what a criminal process looks like. We can also discuss medical services, including a forensic medical exam and what to expect, as well as information about evidence collection. We discuss non-reporting supportive measures, including academic flexibility and accommodation. housing changes, modifications to work schedules, and academic withdrawals, as well as campus no contact orders and protection from abuse orders from the Pennsylvania legal system. If our office cannot provide the service or action needed, we connect students to those organizations and offices who can, including getting students into CAPS to receive counseling services, connecting them with the Office of Sexual Misconduct Reporting and Response, university and local police, as well as Center Safe, which is the state college community organization which supports victim survivors. Our office can serve as advocates and provide support for an individual throughout an administrative Title IX process as well as a legal process. Additionally, we can provide ongoing support for students even after a formal process has ended. For your benefit, if a student comes to you for support as a result of an instance of sexual violence, relationship violence, or stalking, in addition to affirming them, the best thing you can do is empower them with resources, enabling them to know what their options are and the resources available. I want to highlight the options available on our campus, and I highly encourage you to take a picture of the slide highlighting confidential resources such as the Gender Equity Center, CAPS, Center Safe, and the Center for Sexual and Gender Diversity, which are great places to start if an individual doesn't know what their options are or what they'd like to do. Certainly, if they are interested in reporting, that can look like a reporting process through police or a legal system, as well as a university reporting process through the Office of Sexual Misconduct Reporting and Response. And then finally, medical services. Even if what happened to the individual occurred a few days or weeks ago, making sure they did get checked out because they may have some health concerns or internal injuries that they're not even aware of. Additionally, I want to highlight you can download the Reach Out Editions app and get these resources directly on your phone, along with other important materials and supporting documents. Moving beyond the individual, let's discuss our awareness and prevention programming, stopping the violence before it starts and reducing the number of victim survivors or situations of violence through educational offerings, programming, and events. We target groups of students, whether it be through classroom programming, workshops, and partnerships with clubs and other organizations, or programming and campaigns for the larger Penn State community. We seek to provide awareness and education to promote prevention and the development of positive bystander skills for the greater community and to promote positive campus norms. We provide programs and workshops for classes as well as student groups and social organizations upon request. If one of our standard workshops will not suffice, we can develop a program to meet the needs of the group we are working with, including the facilitator, who can be one of our staff members or a student staff member or trained peer educator, which we will discuss more about in a minute. We also host larger participatory action and awareness campaigns. Much of our awareness campaigns center around awareness months, with stalking awareness in January, Women's History Month in March, Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month in April, and October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Some of the campaigns and programming we have hosted in the past include Denim Day, wearing denim to support survivors of sexual violence while protesting violence in the rape myth mentality behind victim blaming experienced by survivors on a regular basis. Or What Were You Wearing campaign, which exhibits outfits based upon stories of survivors from our community to address the victim blaming mentality of asking what someone was wearing when they were assaulted. The Clothesline Project, which is a national movement on creating a visual reminder of the impact that power-based personal violence has had on our community, turning statistics into shirts. This movement gives a voice to those who have been silenced, sending the message that help is available and there is a path to healing. In addition to these campaigns, we bring in speakers who are experts on violence prevention and gender equity topics to learn more from others and promote engagement through these keynotes and panels from important advocates. In the past, we have brought former Eagles player and America's Got Talent finalist John Dornbross, actress Mira Sorvino, musician, singer-songwriter Ash, founder of the Me Too movement Tarana Burke, World Cup champion Ali Krieger, A Call to Men founder Tony Porter, and Ryan Jamal Swain, breakout star of the FX series Pose. Now, I know that's quite a bit of information to remember, and after this session ends, you may forget about all of these opportunities. So what I recommend you all do is pull out your phones and scan this QR code that will take you to our Instagram. Following us is the best way to get information and updates about our programming and events, both large and small. Additionally, we are always posting helpful tips and information for students and victim survivors. Finally, I don't want you to think being a participant is your only option. Remember I mentioned those peer education groups? Well, they are great opportunities to get involved while having a positive impact on our campus. We have two peer education groups, which I will introduce to you briefly. First, we have our It's On Us peer educators. They facilitate our It's On Us educational programs and participate in other types of campus activities to raise awareness about issues such as sexual assault, relationship violence, stalking, bystander intervention, intersectionality, and gender stereotypes. Members meet weekly to talk and share experiences while learning the valuable skills needed to be peer educators in the campus community. Our second group is Greeks Care, which is made up primarily by members or disaffiliated members of Greek life at Penn State. Greeks Care, in collaboration with the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life, is a student-led initiative to promote positive bystander behavior and culture within Greek organizations and fraternity and sorority life here at Penn State. It is a 6-week sexual assault prevention program offered to members of fraternities and sororities. Participating organizations send representatives to weekly hour-long sessions which focus on topics including supporting survivors, alcohol and consent, bystander intervention, and more. Members of fraternity and sorority life can then apply to be facilitators after they have participated in the program. They then receive training on the content to be able to offer fraternity and sorority members an opportunity to examine the role they play in preventing sexual violence and creating a culture of support for survivors. If you want to learn more about our peer education programs or are interested in joining, you can be added to our GroupMe and receive meeting information. All you have to do is email our graduate assistant, Leah Pope, who serves as the primary graduate student advisor for these groups. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn about the Gender Equity Center. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have about our services or how to get involved. My contact information is on the slide, and I'm happy to chat over email as well as in person or by phone or Zoom. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching.